Okay, now we have a newly formatted Xbox One hard drive, and we have it USB to my Windows 7 computer here. And I'm going to show you how to put the update files in the system update partition, which is this guy right here. So right now we have a properly formatted drive. It has 5 partitions, and there's nothing in any of them. And prior to booting the system for the first time, we want to put the OSUDT files. So let's say we have no files left. So let's say basically the system that we took the drive out of is dead, which in this case it actually is. That isn't always the case. Sometimes there are some usable files from it, but we're going to take a system where we basically don't have a hard drive or didn't have a working hard drive and make a working hard drive. At this point, we've already booted into Linux, created all the partitions and the file systems, put all the right IDs, and we're going to put the update files in the right place. So in my case here, I have download the OSUDT2, which is where we're going to want to draw from. I'm going to open it. I use 7-zip, by the way, to deal with zip archives. It's really great. And so this is what's in the archive. So you got a system update folder. Now we actually don't care. We don't want this folder in this particular case. But what we do want is all these files. So we're going to go to the system update partition itself. And this is where some people have some issues with putting everything in the proper order in the system update partition, but it's not too bad. We're going to right click it. We're going to say create a new folder. And we're going to create a folder called A. Right click it again. Create a new folder. Call it B. So when I tell you this isn't that difficult, it isn't. So now we come here to the zip file. We highlight all the stuff in the system update folder of the OSUDT2.zip that we downloaded from Microsoft. And we're going to click extract, and we're going to select a place to extract it. We're going to go to the system update I drive, and we're going to extract it into A. So we're just going to dump all the files in there and say OK. So the A folder of drive I could be anything in your case, but so this is actually going on to the hard drive itself. Let's see, it's not going to take too long, so I'm not going to stop the video here. It's just 30 seconds. Once we create A, we can use A to create B. So basically, the Xbox switches between A and B, so every time you update your system, whatever the last what do they call it? Desktop title update. No, title updates are fine. Whatever the last dashboard version was that you had, it'll keep, and then it'll download the newest dashboard to either A or B. So let's say the last time we updated, it put the dashboard files into B. So now it'll download the new dashboard and stick it into A, and then upgrade from there. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe it likes to have that comparison, or maybe it's necessary to kind of do a diff between the two if something goes wrong with the update, or you need to back out or something like that. But as far as I know, you can't actually ever go back. So I'm not quite sure. It must be a Microsoft thing. But if the last update went into A, the new update will go into B. So anyway, so what we're doing here is we don't know what version the Xbox is at all. So we're going to take the latest OSUDT2, and we're going to just dump it into A and B, since we don't know. And it seems to be perfectly fine, but we just don't know where the Xbox One is going to look to next. We don't know if it's going to look in A or B, so we'll just go populate the two of them. Okay, so there we go. So we unzipped. Now A has all the files. Now here's an extra step to do. We're gonna cut the updater out of A and put it. I'm gonna paste it to the root. So now we have A, B, and updater. Then we're going to go back to A. So we took it out of A altogether, and we can see B is still empty. We're going to A. We're going to highlight everything. Right-click it, copy. Right-click B, and paste. So that's what I was saying. We're going to make a second copy of all the update files and put them in A and B, because we don't know, again, where the Xbox is going to look for these files. Now, a lot of the times, if you have a failed hard drive or a failed update, or maybe you're just swapping hard drives, whatever the reason, it'll be enough to format the partitions and put these files into these two directories here. That's not always the case. So We're going to keep our fingers crossed that we're going to put the hard drive back into the system and see if it just boots up on its own. This one having a black screen, I imagine it's going to be a little more difficult than that. We'll probably have to go back to trying to hold down the bind and the eject button again, which I've had no success with so far. But we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I actually haven't seen a black screen system before. Usually at least get a green screen, and then you get some sort of error. There. Okay. So now we have A and B populated with the same files, and those files come from the OSUDT2 that we downloaded from Microsoft's website. All right, so we're going to close both these out. I'm going to come over here, click the eject, and wait for it. There we go, safe to remove. So now we can come over and we can unplug. And now I'm going to put this drive into the Xbox and see what happens. All right, we'll cut over to that.